Hello and welcome everybody to another Thor W casts. We are watching another high rank Deadlock game as always, and a balance patch just came out. This is the first game I'm watching right after the balance patch has come out. So we'll see what kind of differences are being made. A lot of people are probably going to be touching the same heroes for the most part, but we'll get a good account of it in a high-ranked game. So, to start off with, let's go over our lanes. As you can see, we are currently watching an Eternus and Shiv take on a Lash and a Warden. I would say Lash Warden probably have a slight advantage, but not by much, and it really depends on whether Lash can get a big slam off or not. For the time being, I guess it's probably pretty even, maybe a little in favor of the Infernus Shiv, just because the poke that Infernus can give is quite a lot. Anyway, moving on, we've got a mid lane of Abrams Bebop facing off against Mirage and Ivy. So, Bebop recently got some pretty hefty nerfs to his early game. He now actually takes damage when you shoot him with your gun. He no longer has free bullet resist that he used to. And his early game power, aside from that, has been reduced just a bit. So, Bebop might be less of a free lane win than before, but as long as he has the tool of the hook, I do think that Bebop can still win lanes. That being said, against Ivy and Mirage, these two have ways to get away from Bebop even after being hooked, so they might be fine, honestly. And moving on to the final lane, the right side, we have a Dynamo and a Pocket taking on a Wraith and a Haze. Okay, I want to say Dynamo Pocket have a better chance here, just because they actually have some early game burst damage and such. Wraith and Haze, a lot less so. Wraith and Haze have more consistent pressure they can put on, and Dynamo, as a hero, is just a little bit weak. So there could be some back and forth, but I still want to hope that early game Spirit and casting should be better than shooting Gun. Gun is supposed to scale harder while being weaker early, and Spirit is supposed to be stronger early while scaling a little bit less hard. So if the game works the way that the design philosophy is supposed to, then it should wind up being a victory for the Pocket, the Dynamo. We'll see, though. We'll see. That's the exact same reason why I put a little more stock into Lash and Warden versus the Infernus and the Shiv. It's just because it works the exact same way, overall. But we'll see. I know I said we'll see a bunch, but we'll see. If I keep saying it, it might gain meaning rather than lose it. Oh my god, 4 stacks on that? That's gonna hurt. Let's see. Oof, 60 damage for free. Owie. Honestly, at this point, Bebop, you should just reset, my dude. Look how little that's going to give you back, man. You could have zoomed back and then zoomed into lane again by now. Okay, a grab onto the Mirage, a toss back, and there's the Tornado and a dead Bebop. And that's why I said he probably should have went back, because that was exactly what was going to happen, regardless of who he hooked. Ooh, a lot of burst came onto Shiv while we were watching that. Must have been a nice Lash hit onto him. Big slam. So right now, there is a slight lead in favor of the Sapphire team. Not a whole bunch, though. As you can see, it's 1k or lower. Gun buff for the Warden. That's going to definitely help him out in lane. So Warden got a slight nerf to his gun in the early game. So it is very possible that Warden will feel a little less oppressive. But that being said, when you get a gun buff, that gun nerf isn't going to matter all that much, is it? Oh, Lash, big drop in. Doesn't seem like he did too much damage. And a dive from the Shiv into the ultimate. And this hero just got nerfed too. Let's see if Warden can finish him. He should be able to, all things considered. Yep, there it is. I once more look at Bebop and see a Bebop with 100 HP.
Well played.
This Bebop is not playing the lane particularly well, and Dynamo got killed on the right side. Haze popped that ultimate. Haze ultimate does very, very, very high damage per second. See what's going on over here. I see a dive in onto this Warden. A Lash ultimate to keep the Eternus in the area, but he already parried the Guardian, and as I've said before, parrying Guardians is way too free in this game and makes you basically immortal on diving, so he's perfectly fine. Let's see if anything happens over here. Dynamo dodges the Wraith ultimate with Quantum Entanglement. His ultimate had already been popped. Wraith and Haze both brought to a sliver of HP. Wraith at literally 1 is heading back home from that affliction. So, some pressure. Pocket is not going to hit the Haze there. Dynamo's diving back, looking for the Haze. Not gonna hit with the Stomp. Wraith will be returning back to lane. Mid lane Guardian has been taken by the Sapphire team. Wraith makes a triumphant return to the lane and looks like she's gonna get a double kill more than likely because this Dynamo is dead. Yep, there it goes. 4 kill streak on the Wraith. This looks like a pretty one-sided game so far, all things considered. The only ones doing particularly well for the Amber team are the Eternus Shiv combo.
Careful, Lash.
So, Shiv got quite a few nerfs to his kit. He has reduced damage deference. His rage only builds up when fighting heroes rather than neutral creeps. They swapped his Bloodletting 1 and 2 with each other, so it takes an extra level to get that extra damage deference. So, quite a few small little nerfs to Shiv. They should add up and make him a little less ridiculous. But that's why this will be a good game to see. Ooh, a lot of damage onto this Mirage, but he'll be perfectly fine. Mirage continues to evade nerfs somehow, despite being a disgustingly strong hero.
Well played.
I don't know how he keeps doing it. He's bribing the devs or something like that. Whoops, Shiv. Getting jumped on a little bit. Lash ultimate will grab him, toss him down. There is an Eternus ultimate being popped, and that is actually keeping the Shiv alive for now, but he will get killed in the end. The ultimate from Warden chases away the Eternus. He is not able to stand up to the Warden ultimate, as very few heroes in the game are in the early game especially. Alright, so taking a little bit of stock on what's going on, we are at a 10k lead at 9 minutes into the game in favor of the Sapphire team, so it's looking a little grim for the Amber team. Comeback mechanics got nerfed a little bit. The exact numbers weren't given to us in the patch, unfortunately, but it did say comeback mechanics nerfed a bit. That was the line we were fed. So, it's possible that the Sapphire team will just snowball to a victory. Oh my god, that damage that he just took. That's disgusting. Okay, Ivy is going gun Ivy. Already has Tesla bullets. Mirage, standard Mirage build. Oh, let's look at what's going on over here. What's going on is Eternus getting killed. They do get the Guardian, but now Shiv has to try and fight against the Lash and the Warden. Lash actually going to survive with a sliver of HP, finished off by the dagger. And Shiv will die eventually, but he did get that kill before doing so. Mirage comes right back with his ultimate.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
And Abrams brought to the ground by the Ivy stone form, preventing his ultimate from giving him an escape. It's one thing about Abrams is his ultimate isn't the best. It is very, very slow and very, very counterable until it gets leveled up to full and it becomes unstoppable. Which, we'll see if he does that. Pocket diving in and getting himself killed, sacrificing his life for a Guardian. Quantum Entanglement dodge by the Dynamo, but he's gonna die. Does he pop the ultimate like a dummy? No, he keeps the ultimate. Good man. Good man, good man. That being said, the lead has lowered to only 7k. It was 10k just a couple minutes ago, so the Amber team gets a little bit closer to an even game. And Lash is being chased, Lash is being killed. Warden pops the ultimate, Warden going in, chasing, and gonna be forced to run away, it looks like. Makes sense. Abrams gets killed, Bebop gets parried and killed. What are the kill numbers? 18-4, and it's only a 6k lead? What? Devs, we gotta have a little chat. I know that comeback mechanics are good, and I know it feels bad to get snowballed on. However, when you have almost 5 times as many kills as the opposing team, maybe it's okay for the lead to actually exist. You know, this is kind of a tiny, tiny lead right here. Oop, point blank Lash ultimate is not actually going to pull Eternus anywhere. Luckily, Lash had some backup of the Ivy. Dynamo still has ultimate. I'm trying to see if he gets anything. A good hook by the Bebop will grab the Warden and pull him into 4 heroes. That is a very dead Warden.
Wonderful. Need help on Greenwich.
Are they not grabbing the urn? Doesn't look like it, but... oh, look! The Walker died in like 2 seconds because that they didn't buff survivability on these things by enough for it to matter. Will there be a punish, though? Wraith fighting as best she can, and she'll probably burn to death, but not before the kill on the Eternus. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, the Shiv by himself being taken down. And 9k lead in favor of the Sapphire team. Just growing a little bit further with that Guardian taken, back to a 10k. Now, one thing that I noticed didn't get much of a change is the item counterspell. And the reason that that is important is because counterspell is overpowered. Extremely, extremely overpowered. This item is either going to be removed from the game entirely or nerfed heavily because this is a 3,200 cost item that is as good as a 6,400 cost item. Which is a bit of a problem. Warden still being chased by this Shiv. Shiv doing his best to keep up with the Warden. Not quite going to be able to keep up with him. Diving into 3 heroes with the assistance of the Abrams. A 3v2. Ivy fucking fly me. I mean, he's not wrong. Warden will die because Ivy didn't deign to fly him, but I think the Shiv is in a killable position if they chase. No, they're just going to let him go. All right, then.
I'm no coward.
Moving back over to Bebop. Very low on the HP, but looks like he'll be perfectly fine while the Eternus gets taken down by 3 heroes. Ivy has picked up Point Blank recently. Considering there are both a Shiv and an Abrams, that is a lot of up-close opponents, which means it's a very good item to grab. It gives you some melee resistance, which is very nice. And these heroes want to get up close and personal, so it'll increase damage done by Ivy's gun on top of it by a fairly significant amount. Another item that feels like it does too much and did not get any sort of nerf. Speaking of doing too much, The mobility of Shiv, man. Let me just kick off a wall, alt fire, and alright, I have gone 3 leaps of distance. Shiv trying to fight back. Lash ultimate will toss his sorry ass to death. But will the Pocket be able to get any revenge? No, Warden is more than fine. Pocket is basically doing 0 damage, and he's chased down by the Warden.
Don't force me to kill you.
Headed to York.
Oh, big black hole coming down. But will it result in more? Warden gets killed. Dynamo on the precipice of death. Will the Jin's Mark finish him? No, he is able to out-heal it. Dive in from the Eternus onto the Haze. Haze hits the Sleep Dagger, and the Eternus gets slowing hexed, and the Haze can easily fight back. In fact, I'm surprised the Haze is running away with Ivy in the area.
I see Ivy.
She's trying to chase him down now, but I do believe he's gotten out. They lost their Walker. Walkers are made of paper mache. They are not actually defensive structures. They're just kind of there to look pretty, I suppose. Ooh, ultimate does not... Wait, that did connect? But Ivy was out of the AoE, visually. That's weird. No. Actually, it didn't connect. Ivy just had a green glow for a second, so I thought that the affliction, I mean, was inflicted upon her. I guess that was just from her ultimate. So we've maintained about a 10k lead in favor of the Sapphire team for the past little while, but just maintaining the lead rather than growing it does feel kind of bad. Despite the fact that they are up 17 kills right now and 3 walkers, their net worth lead hasn't really grown. However, they are unlocking more item slots. Lash is dead. Burned to death over time. Spirit Resilience got a slight nerf to it. Lost 5% of its upfront resilience. Still has the plus 30% when you are low on health.
Time for glory.
Pulled in by the Bebop. Instant ultimate from the Warden. And a chase will not be successful on the Bebop. Instead, Warden's going to have to run away because there is a scary, scary Eternus in the area. Bebop being chased down still by the Ivy. Not quite dead yet, but with the Ivy ultimate coming through, Bebop is going to have to be very careful. The airdrop does not connect. It looks like Bebop has been just wily enough to sneak his way out of there. Still, 13k net worth lead in favor of the Sapphire team.
You can't hurt me.
Defeat me if you can.
So one thing I'm very interested in is seeing how good the Lash, possibly the Pocket if he builds Tank Buster, are, because Tank Buster got a nice buff to it. Tank Buster is now sort of similar to having armor-piercing rounds for Spirit, in that it will ignore Spirit Resilience when it's charged up and when it activates, so that should be a solid damage improvement for Spirit heroes, and should allow them to not get so incredibly heavily outscaled just by Spirit resistance. We'll see, though. There are certain heroes I'm very interested in seeing how they do in this game. And Lashed, Pocket, just Spirit Burst heroes who have been questionable in the late game, I could say. Questionable. Bebop's still going Gun Bop, as expected. Here comes the Rejuvenator. Let's see how things go. Warden holding them back. Otherwise, the Rejuvenator is taken by the Sapphire team. Huge ultimate by Dynamo, but not much follow-up. Shiv is able to get them a kill onto the Haze, but the new Rejuvenator is stupidly OP, and Haze just instant respawns. So anyone that gets that Rejuvenator buff gets a Aegis of the Immortal applied to them for free. And when they die, they don't actually die. The death doesn't count. They respawn within 3 seconds, and 3 heroes get it. Mid-boss right now in the Rejuvenator is absolutely ridiculously OP. Well, speaking of absolutely ridiculously OP, Mirage continues to be Mirage and kill everyone. He still has this Rejuvenator buff, so that means that Mirage gets a bunch of attack speed, a bunch of spirit up, some other extra stats, and like I said before, exactly what happened to Haze before. The moment that he dies, he will respawn on the spot after 3 seconds. I can't believe they give 3 of those to heroes. Coming from Dota 2, the last time they gave multiple Aegis of the Immortals out and they didn't take up item slots like this, it was by far the most overpowered thing in the game and absolutely ridiculous. So, I've said it in a previous cast, the game seems to be repeating the faults of Dota, and for one reason or another doesn't want to listen and follow the learnings of people who have tried things that are being tried again, essentially. So, you know, we'll see how it works. I'm willing to bet that this Rejuvenator buff is stronger than the previous Rejuvenator buff overall. Ivy killed. That being said, a counter kill by Haze, who didn't even have to pop an ultimate or anything. She's a little low right now. If another hook hits, the Haze will die. Nope, she's jumping into ult, more than likely. Pulled in, should die. Still not dead. Still not dead. Still not dead. Finally dead. Long enough time for Mirage to show up and get the cleanup kill, though.
The Jinn will not be denied.
We've got a comeback urn in the hands of the Amber team right now, but, they're having a very difficult time trying to put the comeback urn to claim the comeback urn, I should say. So, not able to get much done. Yeah, Shiv, you don't want to fight that Mirage. That Mirage is pretty strong right now at 29k net worth. 13, 0, and 10. It's a strong, strong man. Huge Dynamo ult, but with no allies! Again! Dynamo, you can't do that when you have no allies. You're wasting that amazing ultimate.
Sounds good.
You gotta look at your mini-map. Are we sure this is Eternus ranked? Because these are some basic issues I'm seeing. Also, Lash picked up toxic bullets. I mean, it does scale off of Spirit now. So, slightly better when you build Spirit up, but yeah, that's not very good. Infernus diving in, getting some damage in where he can, but this Infernus is, yeah, he's not going to do much. This game's pretty freaking over. Take a nice bird's eye view of the situation. All 6 heroes from the Sapphire team are in here. They still have the 2 Rejuvenator buffs, which means there are 8 heroes inside of this base instead of 6. There is no possible way they stop this. Here comes the ultimate from the Warden. They are just murdering the patron as fast as they can. Hook from Bebop, maybe? No, they're just gonna let it go. Game is over. That looked like a bit of a stomp. It probably should have been even more of a stomp if we're being honest, because it was 18-4 in the early game and like barely a 6k net worth lead at the time. They weren't really running away with it too hard until the fights just kept going their way on the Sapphire team. Now, I do want to check something real quick on the Lash. I want to see damage dealt by type. And I want to see how much Tank Buster did. 1,071. Toxic Bullets did 891. It was picked up after Tank Buster. Toxic bullets are still better than Tank Buster. That's nuts, man. Let's look at toxic bullets on someone that built no spirit whatsoever in their build. 2,694 by the Mirage, so that's quite a fair bit of damage. Doesn't look like toxic bullets were picked up on you. How about Haze? Haze didn't get toxic bullets either. How about Eternus? So 1271, which is a fair bit less than I was expecting to see. So toxic bullets did get a slight nerf to its upfront damage, but a buff to scaling, spirit scaling specifically. That's why I'm checking how much they're doing. Now, I don't know if Tank Buster's number here is specifically influenced by the spirit armor piercing, spirit resist piercing, or if ground strike and flog numbers are higher than they would have been before. It's a little difficult to tell. Also, bloodletting apparently happened to give him 2,000 damage over time. Leaning against Shiv will do that, I suppose. So, yeah, it's a little intangible on exactly how much it's doing at the moment, and we're probably going to need to see more games. So that's it for just talking about the post-game stuff there and what I'm really interested in seeing on this patch. I hope everyone enjoyed that cast and are looking forward to new ones on this new balance patch, and let's all learn what is absolutely broken, Mirage still, together, and hope that they can maybe iron out a few more of those wrinkles as best they can. Remove Mirage from the game. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.